We have really strong wind today. I am at Headgates Park. That is the dam over there. We're going to fish both above and below the dam. We're going to start below and then, well, we're going to start above the dam here in this deep pool and then go below. See if we can catch anything. We're going to toss one cut bait and 2 worms to start and see if we get anything.
Ah, looks like something picked up the cut bait. Doesn't really feel like a catfish. Oh, that's not a catfish. What is that thing? Is that a pike? Is that a walleye? A saugeye? Oh, I think it's a pike. It's definitely a northern. A little bit larger than the ones I have been catching, but oh, the pike bit the cut bait, which is very, very surprising. Because thought they ate live baits, but okay, it bit the cut bait. Awesome, awesome.
Guys, I got a northern pike on cut bait. A northern pike on cut bait. Not live bait, cut bait. A catfish, which is the intended species, but a pike. But we're going to gently let this guy go because I think this guy still has a lot of life left in him. There you go, Pike. There you go, swimming off like a champ. Very nice northern pike. Despite catching that pike above the dam, we've been fishing there for 45 minutes. We haven't really caught anything else besides another sunfish, but no one really cares about sunfish all that much for the most part. So we're going to fish below the dam. There's a dock over there, but I think I'm actually going to fish just off the dam itself. There's a still water pool right here off the current, and I think there might be some good fish here. All right, set baits don't seem to be working too well here, so we're going to try jigging. Well, not really jigging, but we're going to try swim bait, see if it works. See if we have anything on this line. I don't think so, because the line would drag a little more if there was. Oh, we got a fish. We got a fish. Got a fish on this line. It's probably one of the suckers. Got a fish on the line, guys. I do have a fish on the line. Oh, it's not a fish, it's a turtle. Got a giant ass snapping turtle on the line. Well, crap. Oh, I got it off. You know, that small dam at Headgates Park kind of sucked. Caught only 1 turtle below the dam and a pike and a sunfish above the dam. So when one dam fails us, everyone knows what the right course of action is, right? Yes, we find a bigger dam. So we are now here at Decatur Dam. Hopefully we can catch something in the slack water, because I don't really want to jump and walk across the dam. That would kind of suck. But let's see what we can actually get here. We're now going to fish on the river side of the dam because I lost about, roughly 10 lures in the dam, and the dam is just like a bitch to fish in because of that. You're gonna lose so much stuff, so we're just gonna fish in the riverside here. Sure, there's gotta be some fish here. Oh, this is a fish. It's almost killing my pole. It's a fairly large fish. I'm gonna guess it's probably one of the red horses because it's my worm, but it's not a bad fish. This is not, I think it is a red horse, but it was bending my pole pretty hard. Nope, it's a carp. It's actually a common carp. It's not a bad one either. Didn't know there were commons here. I have to switch to the corn. It's not a bad common. It's not a bad common carp. Just was going for it and saw my pole bend over. This is not a bad carp. It's fighting. It's my smaller pole, so it's definitely fighting. But remember, even my smaller pole has 15-pound braid. It's a pretty big common, actually. Check that out. It's a pretty big common. It's actually a fairly big common. Bigger than most of them I hook. But it ate the worm, which is not all that weird because just about everything eats worms. But it's going to take me a while to bring this common carp in. I think it actually might be more than 5. It's about the same size as some of the 5s I've hit. I'm glad I found there's actually carps here though, but we got them. We got them in. We got them in. You have to lift this thing up here. So let me get them in and then we'll take a good look at them. Well, that kind of sucked. I was trying to pull them up without the net and kind of got loose. So I'm gonna go get the net now so I don't lose another big fish. All right, I get a chance to actually make up for my blunder earlier because something actually hit the cut bait. It's not huge, but it's fighting. That is not actually this is not acting like a catfish. Like it just jumped several times. It's fighting pretty hard. I think it is a catfish, but it is fighting pretty hard. It's not a huge fish though. I don't think it's a huge fish. Is that yeah, it's a channel. It's a channel. It's a decent sized channel catfish. It's fighting. It's fighting. Well, can't really fight against me right now. I'm gonna get the net just so I don't lose this fish again. It's a decent sized channel. Yeah, I got it. Sweet. Channel catfish. It's actually a fairly chunky one. Fairly chunky channel. All right, just as I was about to give up, 5.8 pound channel catfish. Not really sure what's wrong with this catfish. It's got this like giant lump on its, got a giant lump on the bottom of its throat, but a 5.8 pound channel catfish. All right, let's let the catfish go back in the water. Going back in the water, guys. Letting my little catfish go. Well, it's not a little catfish, it's actually pretty big, 5.5 pounds. Fairly large for a channel. See you, channel. Oh, there you go, back in the water.
We're back at basically Decatur Dam, and we're gonna throw a couple more lures out. I'm also gonna jig around today. Probably gonna be some rain later today, but we'll actually see. What we're gonna do is we're gonna toss a cut bait, a worm, and a corn, and we're gonna see how that works out.
All right, we got 3 baits out with the triple threat: the cut bait, the worm, and the corn bait. I know there are carp here because I almost hooked one yesterday. That's why the corn is out in the first place. Otherwise, I just throw 2 worms. But let's see if we can actually get anything with this bait. I'd be very disappointed if we didn't. But I did actually try to toss out the piece of wax worm under a bobber. Nothing actually bit it. So I don't think there are a variety of bait fish here, which is why I'm very glad I actually bought the cut bait. Brought the cut bait here today, because hopefully that'll attract a big fish. Maybe a little later in the day.
Oh, we got a little tug. This is a very small fish, whatever it is. What is it? Oh, it's one of the sunfish. That's why. Oh, it's a plump sunfish, but it's a sunfish. Fortunately, it is still too big of a sunfish, about 7 inches, for me to actually use for bait, but not a glorious fish. Nice little plump sunfish.
All right, plump sunfish, see ya.
I got another fish. It feels bigger than the first sunfish, but it doesn't feel very strong, whatever it is. It's what is that thing? I think it's a sucker. It's a white sucker, I think. It doesn't look like the silver red horse I caught a couple of days ago, but it is a white sucker. Just swirling around. It's not very big. Doesn't feel very big. But let's lift it up, and there you go. That's what we have, a white sucker.
Check it out, a new species, a white sucker. Not really gonna weigh this thing because I know it's less than a pound, but it is my personal best white sucker because I don't really catch white suckers. Caught him on a worm, a white sucker. All right, gonna let the sucker go, There you go, white sucker. There you go, swimming off, nice. Think I got a fish here, Yep, definitely got a fish. Oh, it's probably another, oh, it's not acting like a sucker. It's darting around. I think it's a bass. Guys. It's darting around. So it's definitely not acting like a sucker. But it might be a catfish, you know, it's darting, it might be a sucker. Because it did take the worm. Yeah, it's another sucker. If these suckers got a little bigger, you know, they actually might present a challenge. Is that a common? Nah, it's a sucker. It's a white sucker, but it's bigger than the one I just caught. Another white sucker. Personal best. Probably like a pound or 2. White sucker. Not bad. This one is a little bit bigger than that last one. A little over half a pound. Gonna want to catch a giant sucker someday, but a white sucker. Again, another white sucker. All right, time to let this glorious fish go. This glorious fish. These suckers have provided me the only fare today, so kudos to these white suckers. Oh, wait, yeah, it's still alive. It's just gotta revive for a minute, see? Oh, there you go, see, it's good. It's kind of confused, though, on where it could actually go. I think I'm gonna help it a bit. Nope, there you go. It's not confused anymore, It's just chilling there, though. It's chilling. Oh, there you go. There you go. It's swimming off. Chilling and swam off. Excellent.
I think this pole is moving, and I think I got a fish on it. Not really sure what it is. Reeling it up. Is that a sucker again? Feels like pulling hard on a sucker, but it's a very, very lightweight fish. Wonder what it is. Wonder what it is. See what it is. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's a common carp. It's a very small common carp.
Looks like the common carp decided to show up. The common carp decided to show up finally. A small common carp. Hopefully I can get a much, much bigger one, like the one I hooked yesterday, but a common carp decided to come out and play today.
Time to let the common carp go. Walking over to the water. Carp should be pretty lively because common carp are one of the hardiest fish I fish for. There you go. Yep. Swims right off. Backward swimming, and then it swam right off. I'm going to toss the swim bait out. Been doing set baits a lot, but tossing the swim bait. Reel back and hopefully get a pike, a bass, or anything that will hit this swim jig. On the other side, toss it out, toss it out. Chuck Norris was a fish, anglers would all be extinct. Reel back. Slowly, slowly, slowly reel back. I think I feel a little bit of a wave there. Is that just rocks, or is it, oh, a fish, 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 fish. Yes, it's a largemouth bass.
Guys, a largemouth bass, an LMB, a small one, but still a largemouth bass, a largemouth bass. All right, time to let the bass go. It's fun playing with him, but got to get him back in the water before too long. Probably had a tough day because he just got caught. But that's what we do. We catch fish and then we release them. Let's toss a swim bait out a couple more times along the side. Going to explore a little bit. The big baits aren't really hitting, so we're going to explore the a little bit downstream on the river. Clouds look scary, but it's really not that late. It's just after 6. Pretty sure there are like fish in here. I just don't have like... Oh, I got one. Oh, it's not a bad one either. It's not a bad one, but I got one. Yeah, it's big. It's much bigger than the last one. Got one. See that? I got one. Let's reel it up. Another largemouth. It's a good thing this is 15-pound braid, but another largemouth. No, it's a smallie. I got a smallmouth bass. Very, very nice smallmouth bass. All right, guys. A smallmouth bass this time. Smallmouth, probably 13 inches or so. Not my personal best by any means, but a pretty decent smallmouth bass on the curly worm jig again. These bass are hitting like fire down here today. Time to release the bass. Nice smallie. There you go, smallmouth. Oh, just swam off just like that. Can't even see it anymore. Constantly ducking from the rain too. A little bit of rain right now. A lot of that storm clouds passing by. Might take a while. Oh, got one. It's another bass. Oh man, they are biting good today. Oh yeah, another bass, another largemouth bass. Check that out, a largemouth bass. It's actually bigger than the last one I caught, but nowhere near my personal best. A largemouth bass. Being around dusk, I've actually took off the jig and we've recasted the worm. Because around this time bass do tend to shut off because it gets dark. Bass are not nocturnal, but carp and suckers, I believe, will actually hit when it gets darker, as will catfish. So hopefully we'll get a couple more of those before we have to call it a day. That's a fish. That is a fish. Feels like another sucker though. Could be a carp. Feels a little heavier than the other sucker, but doesn't seem to have doesn't seem to be super strong. But that's definitely a fish. Trying to pull away. If it's a sucker, it's probably bigger than the other two. Seems to be slightly stronger than the other two as well. Is that a carp? That could definitely be a carp. Oh no, it's a catfish. It is a catfish. So it didn't eat my bait. Didn't eat my swim. Didn't really eat the other bait, but the cut bait, that's weird. It didn't eat the cut bait, but it ate the worm, Worms, excellent bait. It's not as big as the one yesterday though, but it is a nice catfish, and I will land it. I will definitely land this catfish. I think this might be the last fish of the day. This definitely might be the last fish of the day. Didn't catch any of the monsters I was hoping to catch, but this particular catfish wouldn't be bad to end the day on. Wish I had some helpers here though. Didn't expect to land a catfish on worms. Oh, it's a, no, it's a channel. I was like, is that a flathead? I mean, the head is flat, but it's definitely a channel. This actually might be around the same size as the one I landed yesterday. That's pretty cool, on worms, Pretty sure that's a channel because it's the same coloration as most channels I catch, kind of the grayish. All right, let me get this guy in and then we'll take a look at him. Just caught this beauty of a catfish, this beautiful catfish on a worm of all things. This is by far the biggest fish I've caught on worms. I think this is a channel. It actually might be a flathead, but I think like the body shape, yeah, it's a forked tail. Pretty sure this is a channel catfish. The head is pretty flat, but I am pretty sure this is a channel catfish. Love for it to be a flathead, but it's actually a channel catfish. This is 5.7 pounds, about the same size as that fish I caught yesterday. It's a different fish, doesn't have the lump, but nice channel catfish. I know you guys may not be able to see this, but we're gonna let this channel catfish go. See ya, channel catfish.
That was a really fun 2 days. We actually caught 2 largest channel catfish. Hooked one big carp, wasn't able to bring him up. We caught a pike, we caught a couple of bass, and we caught white suckers, which I actually haven't caught before. You see them at the stores all the time, but those are really small white suckers. These were decent sized white suckers, a little too big to use for bait. But, you know, it was really nice to end each day on 2 catfishes. So, like and subscribe. Let me know where I should go fishing next. And I will see you on the next adventure.